Hello, and welcome to the Gamer's Closet. I'm your host, Douglas Weed, and today we're going to be talking about King Tut's Game. King Tut's Game is a game manufactured in 1977 by Cadaco Incorporated. It runs for about 20 minutes of game time, seats 2 players, and is rated for ages 6 and up. But let's dig into it a little further, shall we? The title of this game is literally true. 4 games of Senet were found among the treasures in King Tutankhamun's tomb. The original rules were lost many centuries ago. Only recently an Egyptologist reconstructed the rules after exhaustive study of ancient hieroglyphic documents. Peter A. Piccione, who is studying for his PhD degree at the Oriental Institute of the University of Chicago, has revealed a fascinating game of strategy and luck. The game of Senet has been printed over and over again by multiple different game companies as it is in public domain. Due to archaeological and artistic evidence, it is suggested that it was played as early as 3100 BC when Egypt's first dynasty was just beginning to fade from power. Originally, the game was a pastime with no religious significance, but it eventually evolved into a simulation of the netherworld with its squares depicting major divinities and events in the afterlife. It has been said players believed that Senet revealed what obstacles lay ahead, warned dissolute souls of their fiery fates, and offered reassurance of the deceased's eventual escape from the underworld as represented by successfully moving one's pieces off the board. This game does come with multiple pieces. It comes with an authentic Egyptian game board, 2 special dice, and 10 playing pieces, 5 in green and 5 in yellow. The object of this game is to be the first player to get all 5 of their pieces off the board. Senet is a game of both strategy and luck. The players must occupy key positions on the board for as long as possible to force their opponents into an inferior and dangerous position. The players alternate turns by throwing the dice and moving their pieces along the squares. To play this game, each player selects 5 playing pieces of the same color. Players throw their dice to determine who will begin. A player throwing 2 blanks at this time or during gameplay may throw again. Pieces are placed onto the game board one at a time. A throw of 1 is needed to get onto square 1, gaining entrance to the board. Once on square 1, the player may immediately throw their dice again to move the pieces off that square. The second throw must be used to move this piece. After 2 or more pieces are on the board, the numerical value of the throw may be split among them. For example, if the dice show a total of 3, then 1 piece may move 3 squares, or 2 pieces may move 1 square and 2 squares respectively, or 3 pieces may move 1 square each. The move from square 1 may be split among the pieces already on the board, but a throw of 1 to get on the board may not be the result of splitting. No more than 1 piece may occupy the same square. Pieces may pass over or pass by any other piece. If it is impossible to move the piece from square 1 because the square to which it would move to is occupied, then the piece must come off the board for a try again at a later time. A player must always take a turn. If it is not possible to move their pieces going forward, then they must be moved going backwards the number of squares indicated by the dice throw. If this is not possible, the player may not move at all during their turn. A player may not split the direction of their pieces between forward and backwards, and all pieces must move in the same direction or not at all. This game does have bonus and penalty squares, which there are some rules that specifically apply to them. So if you land on a free throw square, which is square 15 or 26, as a result of splitting the throw, the other pieces must be moved before the free throw is taken. If a piece lands on square 27, that piece is removed from the board and must enter play again, as I just stated earlier. Finally, pieces must exit the board on exact throws just as when entering. Square 28, 29, and 30 show these rules. Pieces may not move backwards from these 3 squares, nor may moves be split among them or any other pieces. However, pieces are not forced to exit if the exact throw is made, unless, of course, there is no other forward move possible. Well, this has been an overview of the King Tut game from Cadaco Games. Now, I do want to mention that in my research online, I found information on this version, and there's another version of Senet out there. So I am going to be doing 2 videos on this topic for the playthroughs. So first off, I'm going to do a playthrough of the King Tut game from Cadaco, and then I'm actually going to do another playthrough of Senet, so that way we can go over both versions of this game. So, like I said, I found 2 different versions of it. They're both interesting. The rules of this video are from Cadaco, but again, I will be going over the other rules for this game in a separate playthrough video. When I drop the playthrough video for this one, I'm going to be dropping that one out at the exact same time. So this is going to have 2 special playthrough videos when we do it. So, that being said, the King Tut game from Cadaco version. The board, it's a really nice looking board. It's got the nice hieroglyphic pictograms on it, and I think it's a very sturdy looking game. I have played this game multiple times. I've introduced other people to it, and it is a harsh version of Senet. A normal version of Senet, you have pieces already on the board. This one you have to fight to keep them on the board. So it's more of a cutthroat version of it, I would say. It's a nice looking game. It's very well built. I like the dice options. The other version of Senet runs on sticks that you have to drop down. So, like I said, I'll be going over that in a different video. But the King Tut game, I would say it's very well built. It looks very nice. It goes online anywhere from about $20 to $40, so it's relatively easy to find. I would say this version holds up. It came out in the 70s. I think this version was released at the same time they did the Tutankhamun exhibition that was traveling the United States back in the 70s. So I think for what this game is, it holds up and looks very nice. It's very easy to pick up, very easy to play, very kid-friendly. It's very good for a family game night, so I don't think that you'd have a problem having this game played with friends. It's a very easy game to pick up and play with kids. I don't foresee them having a problem with it because it has some basic rules to it, but I think they'll have a good time playing it. That being said, like I said, for a family game night or game night with friends, it's a really nice option because it's a version of Senet that I would say is not the mainstream normal version. So I think it is a nice change of pace, especially if you want something a little more on the basic side. So it is a good game, and it has a nice cutthroat edge to it. So if you haven't played the King Tut game before, I would recommend taking a look at it. Like I said, it's very easy to pick up and play, and I really like the aesthetic look of it. It has a nice feel, and it doesn't take too long, and you can have a very nice time with a friend. Like I said, it is a 2-player game, so it is a game that won't take over your time, but it's a nice game that you'll have a good time playing it. So if you haven't played the King Tut game before, I would recommend taking a look at this game, and I would recommend playing it. Well, that's it from us here at the Gamer's Closet. We'd like to thank you for checking our video on King Tut's game from Cadaco Incorporated. If there's a game in the future you'd like us to review or go over, please put in the comments below. Please hit subscribe so that way you can be the first to check out our future content. And as always, please have a great gaming day.